April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. The goal to bring awareness to the topic and to educate people about prevention and ways to get help. East Texas News Weekend's Avery Gorman spoke to an educator from the East Texas Alliance for Children about what this month means to them.
Harold's House is hosting events this month to bring awareness and prevent child abuse in the deep East Texas area. Harold's House covers Angelina, Nacogdoches, and Sabine counties. Ashley Cook, Community Education Director for the nonprofit, says this month is important.
And it's a month for us to raise awareness to the issue, to help talk to our community about what's happening with children and get them to join us in this fight.
In 2022, statewide children advocacy centers saw more than 67,000 children who suffered abuse. According to Cook, at Harold's House, they saw 834 children. Cook says that's more than one child a day.
So this is an issue that's really happening, and we want people to know that it is going on. These are happening to children in our community, and we do need to respond to them.
Cook says some signs that a child is experiencing abuse is changes in the child's behavior, regression in behaviors, fears of certain places or people, changes in school performance, and changes in sleeping or eating habits.
One of the best safety precautions you can take to limit child sexual abuse opportunities from happening is to limit the number of one-on-one child and adult situations.
Next week on April 11th and 12th, they will have their Save Jane event, one in Lufkin and one in Nacogdoches. Community members will read either Jane or John Doe, referring to children who have received services from Harold's House, along with their actual age. Avery Gorman, East Texas News Weekend.
For more information on Harold's House and how to get help, open your phone's camera and scan the QR code on your screen, or go to our website kltv.com or ktre.com and click on the big red box on the right side of the home page.